many times you'll end up facing saying, you know what, सब मैं तो कर रहा हूँ, right? Easiest way to kill a partnership is by my daughter was 6 months old when I started the company. So basically, I had two babies at the
Wow.
same time. Should I focus there or should I focus on my company? Early days, no salaries, tough times, 18 hours a
I
day,
know.
new customers. And I think that really worked well. And once we got into a shape where we could start taking some money from the company, it became.
Anirudh, has there been a moment where, you had this particular kind of things didn't work out, even that you tried? There's a failure and
Many,
you had to come over it.
many a times, and to be honest, most of the times you're not even responsible for that outcome or for that failure, whatever that was. And you start feeling, why is that? Am I being treated? I'm being treated like that? Unfortunately, eventually you believe that there are things that are in your control, there are things that are not, and things that are not,
Hmm.
you don't, you stop worrying about that. And it's not easy. It takes time. Believe me, I've been someone
It takes time.
it takes time. It takes time. It takes efforts, and it's not something you'll get in like 1 month, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. As I said, we've been in the system for almost 9 years now, and I think I would say yes. Now I am little more relaxed for things that are not in my control. I wouldn't say I'm completely ignorant of those now. And eventually you have to be, and that's why Einstein said ignorance is bliss, right? If you could ignore things, that's the best thing, but you can't. At least for the first few years, you can't. And you know, when I kind of recall some of our tough times, it
Uh-huh.
only goes to kind of goes on to boosting our confidence that we've survived that. We've survived COVID, we've survived the wars, we've survived all of that, and yet our business is intact. It's not that we are bleeding or we are dying. So
Hmm.
eventually get the confidence. Not one thing could now shake the entire stuff. It has taken a lot
Yeah.
of time to build what we got, and it's not on just one pillar. It's on hundreds of pillars. So even if one pillar goes down, it's not that it's not a good. It's a good thing. It's not a good thing, but something that does not question your sustenance. That's where I think an entrepreneur can think freely. And I think one aspect we need to learn sooner the better.
But just, out of curiosity, I believe in calling, like, there's this intuition, there's this inner voice, we are old souls with a human body. Do you feel that you have that gut calling within you, which calls because of which things started? As in, do you believe in calling or intuition? I would say.
No, to be honest, it doesn't work for me. Sorry for the not for stopping your adventure, but but it didn't. I thought
I'm sorry.
it was a gap I could fill. I mean, as I come from the industry, I worked for some management consulting firms in the past, so I had this understanding that there is a gap which we could fill, and I saw that there is a possibility of doing that from Jaipur. Yes, uh, home calling was of course there. I wanted to be with my family. I thought this is a great opportunity for me to focus on myself while alongside being with my family. Now, how that helped was,
Okay.
all I didn't have to care about my rent and my monthly expenses because I was staying with my parents. Of course, I was married. So of course, I had one expense that I had to take care of. But the fact remains, if you stay with your parents, the most of your, let's say monthly expenses, the general ones are taken care of, right?
Yeah.
So
So true.
that
Yes.
allowed me not to take salary from the startup for the initial few months, right? And then, of course, my daughter was 3 months or 6 months old when I started the company. So basically, I had two babies at the
Wow.
same time, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was like, should I focus there or should I focus on my company? Or of course, it's not about focusing on a child; they are part of life. So it was tough, but with my parents and my family, and not just my parents, I would say the entire extended family, in-laws, my uncles, my grandmothers, my grandfathers, right, from maternal side, from paternal side,
Hmm.
all of them, they are part of my life. They are not. They're like they're just relatives. They are part of my life, right? So my daughter, she has got the upbringing and the, I would say, the values and the I would say the culture imbibed into her because of my extended family. And I think always be grateful to them for that value addition in my life. Um, and then because of that, I could focus on my startup. Early days, no salaries, tough times, 18 hours a
I
day,
know.
new customers, and I think that really worked well. And once we got into a shape where we could start taking some money from the company, it became much better. And then, of course, it grew from just myself, from a shop nearby my house where I started this company, an office of about 75 to 80 square feet. That's it, with one or two tables that I could put in. I remember the first interview I took. Um, I I went downstairs. There was a tent house from where I got a bucket of water and a broom and a chair and two chairs. So I swept the floor, put two chairs, and got my first interview done. And that guy was from IIT Roorkee, and he joined us. A very smart guy, very smart chap, and he said he didn't have a place to stay, and he asked for more salary because of that. I said, okay, what I'll do is I'll give you a place to stay at my place, right? So he stayed at my house for like 6 months,
Oh,
right?
wow.
So that connection was there right from day one, and then it started growing from there. From there to we went into a basement of someone's house. It was a doctor's place, and he had set up a small clinic, which eventually he kind of opened into a bigger hospital somewhere else. So he vacated his own underground and gave it to us. It's about 1,200 square feet space or 1,000 square feet space. And I still have pics of those places. I'll send it to you. Uh,
Wow. Yes, yes,
and
without a doubt.
yeah, and some pics of mine teaching people on the whiteboard, right, writing the entire back propagation, mathematical models. I mean, it still gives me chills, right, where we started from. And the best part was that some of those guys who were sitting and listening to me in that session are my VPs today or AVPs today. They were interns back then, right, and they stayed with us even though they had great offers from the market. So from there till 3,000 people getting into another new office, first floor, then we had seventh floor, then we got first, second, third, fourth. We got the entire building, then we got another office for training, and now we got the main office where we stay. It's about 250,000 square feet of space. So again, pretty large one. So it's like it's a journey you see, you can connect the dots, and you clearly have contributions of people without which this wouldn't have been possible. Of course, it
Yeah,
starts
true.
with me, for me and from Anupam. It has, of course, started with family. Anupam's wife, very supportive, very, very supportive, exactly the way my wife takes care of everything else for me. She does it for him. And then Anupam kind of travels a lot. He's basically more in the US than I am. I'm more towards
Okay.
Asia, Japan, Australia, Middle East, some parts of Europe, some Canada also, US also. But then there's, of course, geography that we both are kind of, in a way, aligned to. And then the folks who joined us, the folks who stayed with us, the folks, both junior, senior, and they believed in us. They believed in the story. Of course, they've done good for themselves. They could made good money. They are actually the number we could pay today is at par with any large management consulting firm. So all of that is there. But I think it's still the trust and the relationship that you've created with people. So as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
the relationship with your employees. Of course, I can't have that relationship with all my employees now because it's about 3,000 people. I would hardly know maybe 5%
Yeah.
of the people now. But the fact is, all the folks who worked with me, who left, who continued, they are all very well connected. A lot of people have
The
joined back
core
again.
team. Yeah.
Yeah, so they've joined Microsoft or Paytm or Walmart or whatever, right? And they've joined us again. So that relationship and that bond, I think, has been very strong. And again, I would say if I connect the dots, I would say those guys have been. I would say they are inevitable. I mean, those characters were inevitable in this journey.
The when you start from the scratch, I can literally imagine and relate, the people who come first and they are there, they also put their heart and soul out, right? And we are so authentic, vulnerable also in front of them, and we are also helping each other. It's more like no titles, but let's do it.
Oh yeah, no
So,
titles. It just work.
no,
It
right.
just work and relationship. It just work and relationship.
Yeah,
In fact, I
yeah.
remember Back in the day, every day 7 p.m., I would take all my employees, about 15 of those guys. Um, I think we had like three or four girls, or about 10 or 11 boys, and we would all go to a omelette shop to have omelette like every single day, right? And we would all enjoy, discuss things, and come back. That was like a regular thing. We did that for almost a year, and then we got
Oh
bored of
wow.
it, so we stopped doing it. We had like omelette literally every day.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I would like to know from the beginning. First of all, I would like to know the bond between you and, Anupam, as in how important co-founder is in business and
Oh.
how this relationship has shaped Saleable's growth. I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
yes, you see, I've been blessed to have a very mature, understanding co-founder. He's of course a
Uh-huh.
little more ruthless than me in terms of in terms of his pursuit for excellence. He's far more ruthless than me in that regards.
Uh-huh.
Of course he's 10 years elder to me. That helps a lot
Oh,
in terms of maturity.
okay.
He graduated from IIT Bombay, went to the US, stayed there, ran a company, created a company, made that company there, and then came here. So of course he brings a lot of experience in running an organization. At least, if not, it wasn't of the size that we are today, but of course he brought in a lot of initial value to the organization
Yeah.
that helped, right? In fact, coming to
Yes.
Azure was his idea, right? Starting with Microsoft was his idea that we should go and
Oh
focus in
wow.
with Microsoft, and in 1.5 years to 2 years, Microsoft will ensure that we have enough customers. Exactly that was the case. We had enough customers or more because of Microsoft. Um, my relationship with Anupam, though I am the CEO and the co-founder, he is nothing less than a CEO or a president or a chairman. In fact, in many
Hmm.
cases, I look to him for guidance, for mentorship. But he's a great guy in that regards. Um, I think in the same way he gives that respect to me, and he would not he would not I would say hold my inexperience against me. He would rather appreciate the energy I would bring in and
Okay.
the practice of AI that I bring in. He brings in the enterprise, SAP, and together both of
Okay.
us is how we're kind of working to modernize these enterprises, right? So my relationship
How much
has been.
both were important for each other, I would say,
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. So I see, and I'll be honest. I'm sure Anupam might face this too. Many times you'll end up facing saying, you know what, सब मैं तो कर रहा हूँ, right? What is the other guy doing? The easiest way to kill a partnership is by over evaluating yourself and the relationship, right? No need to do
Okay.
that. Who cares who's doing more? Is the company doing enough
Yeah.
to grow? If that's the case,
So
be
true.
happy with that. Because I mean, I have been a
Okay.
big fan of Jatin Lalit. I was very disappointed when Jatin Lalit decided to, part ways. And someone who could do, I'm sorry, I'm a Bollywood buff, and so is Anupam. That's one common way. Always would relate that to a movie, but if someone would end up their career doing a fana, right, and doing
Uh-huh.
tens and tens of great movies, I think it's a case study. Letting go sometimes and compromising a bit is part of the partnership. And I think Anupam does that to me.
It
I do that to
is.
him. It is so important. So very important.
It is. It is. It is.
I think Jatin Lalit is a case study. I was deeply disappointed. I think it was a match made in heaven, real brothers and all that. You got to let go of things sometimes. And
Oh
if
my
you look
God.
at what happened afterwards, whatever they had, they completely lost it, right? There was nothing, both of those guys. And I think that's the same understanding. We can find hundreds more reason to fight and just one reason to stick together. And I think we are
Be
very happy.
together. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So true. So true. How did you lend your first customer during that time? So you
Yeah,
said that when you
that
have a
was
big opportunity, you grab it.
yeah.
What was the turning point when you felt like, now it is the time you have to start Syllable, and how did you get your first customer, land your first one?
No, basically I left my job and I started doing a bit of freelancing. And very first day I got
Okay.
a good freelancing job and I delivered that. I thought if I had three guys, I could have given them the guidance to do three things in parallel. And that's when I thought, okay,
Uh-huh.
this is the right time to think of starting something of my own, right?
Oh wow.
Um,
Okay.
and then I knew exactly what I'm trying to solve in pharmacovigilance, toxicology, toxokinetics, clinical trials, uh, post-market sales, and then of course healthcare, prescription, RX data, and then payer. So I knew the entire healthcare life cycle and life sciences and healthcare life cycle management. So I knew gaps where I
That
could go
was
and
through
fill
your
in.
job
That was through my jobs
while
in my
you were
past,
working.
the past life.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Disease associates
Got
at
it.
IBM Research um, at Infosys, right? This was all pharma,
Okay.
and after that, you get go deeper and go to, let's say, CIO conversation and final CEO conversations. You realize 100x things that you could do, right? And you
Uh-huh.
take it.
Okay. So still, how did you land up with one first customer? Is
Oh,
it when
okay.
we start?
Got it. So this was the large telco company in the country. I was
Uh-huh.
talking to someone. He said, one of my friends needs a solution for a problem in HR for a telco company. So I went there, and I worked with this large, gigantic telco company in the country, and they asked me to do their HR analytics, quality of hire, attrition, replacement matrix, and so on and so forth. And
That was
I
why,
think
that was via freelancing, or once
no,
you started Salable.
that was I met the I met one of the stakeholders in a conference, and that's how we got it.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
and from there,
Nice.
they were Azure customers. So they called up Azure, and there was this AE from Microsoft who was kind of leading the account, and they called him and said, you know what, there's this partner called Celebal. Why don't you talk to them? So I called this AE, very good friend of mine. His name is Rajat Malhotra, right?
Oh.
Uh, and he called me about a week after that and asked me to present to his boss. In fact, there was no presentation set up, but they were both busy in their QBR. So they actually said, now that
Huh.
you've traveled from Jaipur to Mumbai, we would still give you like 10 minutes, come and present in the QBR. So I was in this round table and I was sitting with all these sellers, and they asked me, okay, 2 minutes, talk about yourself.
Oh my
And by
God.
the end of the day, I had about three more leads. And from there, of course, started the Microsoft India partnership.
I had so I would say that I started off with this journey. I didn't have, like, I need know the purpose, but I didn't know the how and XYZ. And I stopped giving time to myself in terms of doing my workouts or the daily rituals which I used to do before. And it took a toll on my health a lot. And that's when, my doctor told me that what were the routines you stop following, you have to follow, because it's like a marathon. It's not a sprint that you have to get used to with it. And then I started off with my routine, and it is so important, like along with whatever work, because work is going to be never ending. Every time it is going to be overwhelming, and you have to fight battles and all. So giving yourself, even for those 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it helps a lot. So how is your morning routine you start? As in, you have any morning routine, like, this is the breather which I need, then only.
So you'll be laughing at it because uh, so normally my Australia head, Harsh, who's also my a friend from my school, he calls me. He takes care of my Australia geography. He said, "Bye. There are five things missing, two problems." I would always take his. I mean, probably I would wake up because of his calls. Like
Oh
I
shit.
would say, that's how it starts. But then even if it doesn't, I mean, I would probably be, let's say, awake by 7:30 every day, 7 o'clock, whatever. And my instructor comes in about an hour from there, so I'll do my daily stuff and quickly manage my calendar, what I need to do for the day. And from 8:30
Uh-huh.
to 9:10, I love massages. So he's basically he's pretty good at pranic healing. He's good at acupressure. He's good at
Uh-huh.
stretching, and he's a UA instructor. So he does all four of
Okay.
that for me. I can't lift weights because of my health. I have a very special condition, so I'll tell that to you. I have a condition called situs inversus totalis, which basically means
Okay.
it's very a special condition where so my heart is on this side, right, and my internal body organs, all of them are reversed. So my liver,
What?
spleen. Yes, it's a very special condition, and very few people will know of it because it's just like I think that's my wife. The reflection was there in the glass, right? Just one second. She's helping me pack my bags actually for the journey today.
Oh
So
shit.
she's
Okay.
kind of
What
packing.
time is your flight?
It's late in the night, but that's okay.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah.
so so this special condition basically it's like one in what a million. So as my mom
Yeah.
always said, "Lakhon mein ek," right? So I am actually truly lakhon mein ek. My wife would disagree for
True.
sure, but
Is it for real? I'm hearing it for the first time.
yeah,
Reverse?
it's called situs inversus totalis. But and there is
Okay.
another condition called dextrocardio, where just the heart is
Uh-huh.
on the right side. If that happens, then the configuration of heart, the body, that changes. So you develop those wall thinning and these holes in your heart and all that. But with this, it becomes completely normal. And I got
So
to know
you
of
are
it when I was
lucky.
yes, I got to know of it when I was 34 years.
What?
Because yes, because I had missed my insurance, and when you go past 30 and if you miss your insurance, it expires. You got to get yourself fully checked, right? The
Checked.
test and all, and that's when this guy said, "Oh, you know what? Sorry, your ECG failed." And my mom took the call. She was like, "My goodness, what happened?" She was crying. I had to rush into a doctor, a cardiologist, and he said, "No, it's not. It's not a fail. They did not put the right thing because the heart is on this side." And then that's when I realized, okay,
Weren't
it happens. In fact, it's not just this side. Basically, this is the heart, like this. So heart is like this. So the front of the heart, which you have here, is actually like back on the back side.
on the
So my echo happens from there. Very very different.
wow. Oh
Yeah,
my
very.
god, I can't believe this.
It's perfectly normal. That's perfectly normal.
Yeah, it's perfectly normal, but knowing that in the age of 34, that's
And
great.
then
I
before
mean,
that, I had undergone two surgeries. I had a tonsillectomy, and the second one was I had
oh,
an accident with a hernia. But then both of them, in both the cases, they probably they knew it, they didn't tell me because they must have done the chest scan that is part of it, but they didn't tell me, I
ah,
guess.
yeah,
So
maybe
it's a
it's
surprise.
I don't know, but yeah, it's a surprise for the
Right?
entire family. I would say. How was your reaction? How was your reaction?
No,
Everyone.
it was why because I was told that my ECG was not correct or whatever it was, right?
Huh.
For me to believe it was normal just because my heart is on this side. Actually it was a better off condition because the heart is still functioning the way it is supposed to be, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Not
the
better than having a
bigger
heart,
heart
right?
attack ke baad it was oh.
Yeah. So it's better to have a heart that's unhealthy but on the right place, right? It's better to have a heart that's not healthy. But and my founder actually kind of teases me for this. That I wanted a founder whose at least whose heart is in the right place. Even that didn't happen.
Literally, I can understand this. Oh my god. Wow,
Literally.
that's a thanks for sharing. I mean, I'm glad to know this. You, Anirudh, like this, as in apart from just talking about the business and the titles and all those things about the life stories, and I'm just loving whatever we are talking about. Yeah. So,
It's
Anirudh, but
actually as my mom said, hey, I have मैं तो पहले ही बोला था लाखों में एक है हमारा लड़का, right? So that's actually came
yeah,
true.
it is, and yeah, and on top of it, like, I really feel the connect based on Gita. You told about Gita that it helps you in a lot of situations, and being an atheist, you're just, what version of Gita do you read? As in, there are so many versions, right? Which, is there any specific version?
No, there is no specific versions. Basically, what you read could be a enhanced version of Gita where there is more explanation. The
Yeah,
actual Gita is
yeah.
written in Sanskrit. I at least know at least 100 plus verses in Sanskrit. I kind of love it. I love Hindi. In fact, actually I got into Gita because of this Ramdhari Singh Dinkar Saab's
Uh-huh.
this. It's a kavita or a poem. It's basically it's a verse from his one of his I would say amazing creativity called Rashmi Rathi. So Rashmi Rathi
Mm-hmm.
basically is when Shri Krishna goes to Kaurav to talk about peace, negotiate for peace, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's when he says, okay, if you can't give me Indraprasth, give me the five villages. And then Duryodhan says, or Suryodhan actually says, I'll not give you land equivalent to the tip of
Nothing.
of a
Yeah.
what is
Little
it,
or
needle.
something. Ah.
Yeah, so I'll not even
Yeah.
give you that. So he says, then that's calling for war and kind of calling your mom to weep on your dead bodies, right? He says you took my mom's name, so I'll punish you for that. So he asks his guards to kind of arrest him, and that's when Shri Krishna comes up in his real avatar, right? And that's a description in Rashmirati. It's 18 verses.
Oh, 18
Love
verses,
every 17, not verses, 17 paragraphs in the first verse, which is the most popular one,
hmm
and because of which
Okay.
I because of which I started following life of Krishna, and that's how I got into it. I do not agree with Krishna, to be honest, in all the things. If you look at Mahabharata, you'll see Pandavas have done equally bad things, but they were called as righteous, and Kauravas were the wrong side.
Yeah, yeah.
Then
It's
the
the
explanation.
perspective.
That's where the it's not just perspective. It's how things are to be classified. They won't be as objective as you want them to be. Then the subjectivity lies in the objectivity of the thoughts. You need to understand these thoughts in order to even apply some kind of subjectivity to it. So I kind of love it, the way it has been
Yeah.
described. So even though I'm an atheist, I still don't believe that any of that is true. But I think the overall message that it passes is amazing. The story is amazing.
E- to be honest, I mean, the versions, story as well as. So I am reading the one which is of Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, Art of Living, if you would have heard about him. Uh, I, like, was never a follower of Gita and all, but in 2023, I guess, Gita chooses you. You don't choose Gita.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
In the downtime, whatever XYZ personal situations are happening. And I just got that Gita in my hand because of certain friend. And I started going to temple, reading that Gita every day. And it just, I still remember the right now when I'm saying that I'm doing something versus when I finished for the first time the entire Gita, and it completely talks about the scientific reasons also, and with our generation, how it is connected, all the examples in a very beautiful way, it is explained logically. And it changed me as a person. And in fact, there's the kahavat ki whenever you are in a situation, Gita has the answers. Matlab,
Oh,
Gita ke
yes.
guides you. And I just wanted to test it out because my brain was numb because of certain reason, and I have had to take a decision. And there are tough decisions in life which completely change your trajectory. So I just went to the temple and I just started reading, and it really had not once, it is always proving that it does have the answers, or at least it gives you the direction to take a certain decision which you where you feel stuck. Has it the same thing happened with you as well?
It did. I mean, see, during your so I've always been a good student during my school life. I always got
Oh,
great comments from my teachers, but somehow in the 11th and the 12th, I became absolutely arrogant. And I'll tell you why.
okay.
Arrogant because um, I started going for these IIT coachings, right? So I would start my day 5:30 in the morning, go for a chemistry class to a teacher called Vakil Goswami. I would go to his place, and then till 7:30 I would have my class. Then from there to school, 2 o'clock, and then come back, rest, eat your lunch, and then 3:30 start the work again. 5:30 go for classes till 8:30. Come have
Wow.
dinner, sleep for another hour, and then sleep. 3 years, 2 years is what I did. And of course the core the curriculum of JE is of course tougher than the 11th and the 12th. So I felt like, you know what, this 11th, 12th course is nothing. And I started disrespecting my teachers. I'll say that
Okay.
open. I
Okay.
didn't realize I was doing all of that. 11th, and alongside that, still then I was a good student in terms of being really disciplined on my studies and all that. I didn't make it to IIT. I did not. Some of
Oh,
my friends did.
okay.
And I was depressed as hell.
Yeah,
Started
yeah.
doing things. But then I dropped a year and again went for the exam. And I again did not make it. And I gave it my heart and soul. I can tell you, I will breathe, IT, eat. If someone tells me that you can go back 20 years, 25 years, whatever, you'll have 20 years, exactly 20 years actually. You'll have uh, you'll have an opportunity to again appear for exam, and but that would also potentially risk what you have today, right? Would you do
Mm-hmm.
that?
Mm-hmm.
And I would do that without a doubt because I wanted to go there because I want to study study physics, study astrophysics, and whatnot. I'm a student of astrophysics. You'll see that those books here. Uh, uh, so what happened was because I could not make it, or I rather didn't make it. Uh, I was I was I had undergone I would say a period of depression. Someone would say,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, what are you doing?" So I would respond in Hindi like, अभी तो I've left studies and मैं गर्मी में गन्ने का जूस निकालता हूँ सर्दियों में गजक बेचता हूँ. I started saying that. I was so depressed and frustrated that I would
I know.
my frustration, that how dare you
Yeah, it
ask me this,
comes. Being
right?
there, I mean, yeah.
I made it to a, I would say, for the college I studied, I shouldn't be saying anything about it, to be honest. Again, Infosys, JCRC, where I studied, they gave me the option to appear for a organization. So it wasn't like an IIT, of course, right? But I felt so bad. I didn't want to be in any college. In fact, I didn't want to go for engineering. But I thought, why this happened to me? I mean, and I think I realized it was because I was absolutely arrogant, sometimes making things that were not true. So people would make fun of me that because I wanted to prove, I'm worthy of that respect. Why did you give me that respect? And I can say all of that today because I realized it was a mistake, absolute mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, having something to boast about is equivalent to not having thing and still boasting about it, right? So I
Okay.
decided I decided to first go back to my teachers, and I went back to my teachers and said sorry that I was a, and they were lovely human beings. I mean, amazing human beings. They said, I don't remember a single thing that you did to us. You've always been a great student, and she's like a mother. Like, I mean, the teachers are teachers. I mean, I think God created teachers for a very specific reason. I'm still emotional saying that, right? I went up to her, said, "Ma'am, I think I've been an absolute." I didn't use the word asshole, but I didn't say. I think I was a bad student. Right? Even though I was a great student till 10th, I was one of the best, right? And I was the
You
head boy
felt
of the
that
school.
way.
Yeah, I was the head boy of the school. I left that position in the middle, and the one who was the head girl is now an IS officer. She is doing amazingly well for
Wow.
herself.
Wow.
So I realized I messed up my life like really badly. But then is when I actually started understanding Gita. That I started
Oh,
believing that getting to IIT is something was in my hand, whereas it was never in my hand. All that was in my hand was making the effort.
yeah.
And then I realized maybe I did not make the effort correctly also. That arrogance and that or that stupidity or that naivety or that whatever that word is, right? Um, Probably led me into directions which did not let me use my or did not let me use my skills in an optimized way. Or I could not culminate with respect to the outcome that I could have justified with my skills, right? So I realized that was a mistake. But then what happened on the other hand was I realized that arrogance is something that makes you stoop down, step or rather stoop down to a level where it becomes impossible for you to recover back. And that's when
True.
I decided, okay, I'll have to change myself. So started joining this philosophy called Sugagaga International. It's a life philosophy for Buddhism. You know about them. That
Yeah.
helped me a lot. It helped me a lot. Of course, I continued for a while, and then of course I left it. But then that gave me some ground principles of life. I changed myself, and again, and that's when I got hold of Gita, or Gita got hold of me, whatever, right? And
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
time again, just keep
That's
doing
how
it.
you came out of. Yeah.
Just keep doing it, right? And when Sri Krishna says, uh, you know, in that line in Rashmati, sab jan mujhi se paate hain, phir lord mujhe mein aate hain, right? So that I
Oh,
believe in it,
yes.
right? I
I
believe in
believe.
I believe, but I do not believe that worshipping God makes your life better. I believe there's a power, but worshipping that power
There's a.
is of no value. So there's a difference, right? If God is the most omnipotent and the most, I would say, someone who's, let's say, not mature, but I don't know what the right word is. Someone who understands everything about his life because he's created the world. Who won't be happy if we keep chanting his or her name, right? Rather, let it be what it is. But then, yes, what ground rules they have created, if you can follow that, that will really help. And the ground rules are the same again, right? What you have in your hand is what you have in your control is not the outcome, right? So
Yeah.
so I decided to follow that strategy, and it really worked well because then I just kept doing it. I just kept doing it. And
Okay. Yeah.
some
Yeah.
friends of mine, some friends of
See how
mine,
it is.
yeah. The fact is, those who were there during my time, who actually made it to big colleges, big MBAs, many of them are working for us right now in Celebal. And they're great friends, fantastic guys. I have nothing, I had nothing to boast. You know what? See where I am today. I don't even feel like that because not to show that I'm mature enough to say or see I'm how good a human being I am. Genuinely feel that it's just that something worked in my favor because of certain factors. Something didn't work back for me because of certain factors, and that means what I have in my control is my effort. That's it, and nothing else.
Oh
So
my
nothing
God.
to be
So true.
proud. So that's where it really helped me a lot. I had gone through a terrible time. I thought I'll be a loser and won't be good for anything. But then this changed dramatically. And I would give this advice to everyone, whether you're an entrepreneur or not. Being an entrepreneur is one part of the passion. Not necessarily everyone has to be
Mm,
an entrepreneur,
mm.
but yeah, more importantly, you got to be you got to be just doing this, just doing, keep doing, even in your work, right? Just keep doing it. Everyone comes to me and say, you know what, we are victim of office politics. Everyone is a victim of office politics, and everyone is a criminal in that office politics. Everyone is part of it, right? So let's stop saying that. It's human nature. When a group of people work together, they will form groups. There'll be groupism. There'll be politics, and you're part of it. And but you think you're not part of it, right? You all are part of it.
Ge-
We all are part of it,
Gita.
and we don't,
Yeah.
right? We lie to each other that that we all want that share of this pie, whether it's or the pie of the success, or pie of the politics, or the pie of the power, whatever that is, right? uh, um, I would say let go of that. There's no value of chasing all of this, and I think the way it worked really well for us because when we started this company, we had failures. In fact, I had actually split from someone before I actually started with Anupam. So I had a split with someone.
Uh-huh.
He's still a very good friend. It was a very small stint, and those guys who continued with me, they still believed in me and they continued. They had an option to leave. After a split. I mean, who knows
Yeah.
what's going to happen to you in the future. So they stayed and they worked with you. I think because maybe I could tell them the same thing, that what is in our control is the effort, and let's put that effort together. And they believed in me, I
Yeah.
guess, right? Then they say so. It basically is the the manifestation of strategy, ideas, thoughts, outcomes I'll keep aside, is actually because of the same thought, underlying principle, right? The ground rules
Keep
that
doing. Yeah.
keep
True,
doing.
so true, so true. Keep doing, and the other part also, which when I believe that this, when you said you were in the downest of the downtime, and I believe during that time itself, when I was in my downest of the downtime, that's when I got in touch with Gita, I would say, the verses, and it helped. It changes a lot because it had something written that, the way you said that you realized where were
Yeah,
your mistake. When you realize, the realization is the time when you're no more a kind of sinner. Like, that's when you transform into a new person altogether, whose sins are, or whose wrong karmas are reduced, because you step into the realization mode where you accept what is wrong, and you accept, and then, that's the biggest thing people are not
yeah.
aware of. But it's a beautiful journey, Anirudh. I mean, I'm
You feel good
glad.
about it.
Yeah,
You feel good about
yeah,
it. You can all,
yeah,
and not to feel good about it because there is an element of success that got attached to it. You should feel about
yeah,
it regardless. Good about it regardless. You should feel good
yeah,
about it.
yeah, yeah,
I think that's the
yeah,
maturity you want to develop. It takes time.
yeah. It
I'm not a
takes time.
believer of the karma theory. I just believe that we all cease to exist after we die. So again, not fully buying that theory. Again, that's the atheist in me talking. But the as I said, what you believe, you just believe in it and keep doing it. That's it.
And
And
the
don't need to
belief
believe.
and keeping, yeah, yeah,
Keeping up to that belief is very important.
yeah.
Don't change it because of the circumstances, the outcomes. Don't change that.
Situations and all.
The
Yeah,
good thing for
yeah,
me
yeah.
good thing for me was like मुझसे और क्या बुरा होगा मतलब right when I was not
पर
doing
करोगे नहीं तो फिर बुरा रहेगा, हो जाएगा,
हाँ,
लाइक करोगे नहीं तो समथिंग.
I think what failures, teaches you, a failure would teach you is not that how it'll sweeten the taste of success. Of course, it'll do that, but it will tell you, भाई इससे नीचे तो जा नहीं सकते, right? This is the worst you could do. So now let's start building on top of it. I think that's the way to
Yeah,
look at it. And people say failures are important. I say no, failures are not important because success is also not important because both are inevitable. They will come to you. Maybe success is more inevitable than failures because it's going to come to you for sure. So don't count anything as success or failure. These are all part. But you
yeah,
enjoy and just keep doing it because again, what you're getting is an outcome which was never in your hand, right? And it's as you think of it more deeply, you'll realize there's more to it. There's more to it, and you'll keep doing it. For
true.
everything, you just
Yeah,
say, "Why am I worrying about it? It was never in my hand." Right?
yeah.
I'm not
I
about
mean,
it.
because we are running out of time also, there are a lot of philosophical talk we can do. I would say it will take the
Of course,
entire day and we can go on talking on
absolutely.
all these topics. Yeah, even I love it. I love it. But I would like to ask, like, I would like to ask few important questions when it comes to entrepreneurship also. So let me just switch to a different topic altogether. I would like to know about the partnership, like, you have nurtured, in fact you have built as well as nurtured with Microsoft, with Databricks, with SAP, right? Like, how was the starting point? How did it, I understand about Microsoft, it started with an AE and you went there, and how did it grow to a level that, you also became the managed partner, as well as you got the award in Microsoft? If you can share the journey. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Or
So, uh, and I can take names, right? The folks.
yeah,
What
yeah,
should
yeah,
I?
yeah, yeah.
So
Whatever
I.
comforts you, it's better. It
Yeah, yeah.
is
So
going
I.
to help a lot of people over, who are into
I'm not with
the
Microsoft anymore, so
journey.
maybe it not help anymore because those guys have left
Yeah.
Microsoft. But I met this guy, Rajat, who actually I got introduced to him through my Tata, one of the Tata, it's a subsidiary of one of the sister companies in the Tata group that kind of introduced me to Rajat, and Rajat got me introduced to his stew heads, to his stew basically as the solutioning unit.
Mm, mm, mm.
And he actually then asked me, okay, present yourself in 3 4 minutes because they were in the middle of a QBR, and that's how got introduced to all the AE or SSPs in one shot. Right. By the evening, I got two three immediate ones. The second one I got was this big customer in media, so they were in OT and
Mhm.
OTT, and then they were very famous for one of the shows, one very big reality show. Uh, I'm sure you know the name. So we did the ratings, the advertisement analysis, the ad optimization processes. So way to show the ad, what should be the revenue from that ad, what should be your pulse rating for that particular ad, how does the viewership go up, what content, right, and so on and so forth. So we did all of that.
Hmm.
Uh, after after from that, we got introduced to a bank, one of the largest banks in the country. We grew that bank. We really grew it. Today, we make
Hmm. Hmm.
couple of crores a month from that bank. Similarly, we got into and this is all India. Then I flew to Singapore, met the Microsoft team there. I got a recommendation from Microsoft India team to get introduced to Microsoft Asia team. So I met folks in Singapore who then kind of helped me get into their ecosystem and work with some of the customers in Singapore itself, and it actually kind of continued from there. Most importantly, today how it works is, I went to Spain like 3 months back, not for a holiday but to meet one of our customers there. And the first thing I did was I went to Microsoft Spain office. In Microsoft Spain, I
Okay.
had two three friends who had shifted from Spain or from India to Spain, or I had the recommendation, so we were introduced. So for me, Microsoft has been that one company that has been like I would say a parent for me in my corporate journey or my entrepreneurial journey,
Oh,
because
wow.
I would go to
Oh,
Microsoft office and get connected there. So we never had to really worry about how do you go and let's say get a customer in Japan tomorrow. It's not easy, but with Microsoft it was easy. So in Microsoft India in 2020, actually 2021, we won the Partner of the Year for India. It's a big
hmm.
deal again.
Hmm.
Very
Very
few,
big deal.
very few folks had done it. Then again in 22, so we were like back to back winners of the Partner of the Year. And
Wow.
23 we were, so that was also, that was FY 23, FY 22 was the first one, and FY 24 we won the Global AI Partner of the Year, for which I was
Okay.
called to meet Satya. So we went there and I met Judson. I think Satya was not well. Uh, I mean, we went. I just had a small meeting. He didn't come for the larger one. So of course, shook hands and all that. Great experience for me. I mean, and with
Lovely.
me, so basically, I was the AI partner of the year, and with me was the security partner of the year, the infra partner of the year, right, the biz apps partner of the year, and one was the CEO of Big Four, one was CEO of one of the largest tech companies, one was CEO of big product company, very very big guys, like those who would play in at least double-digit billion-dollar rooms, so or spaces. They asked me, I mean, this leader Max asked me, where are you from? As Jaipur, he had only heard of Jaipur as a tourist spot in India,
Yeah.
and to be able to win AI award coming from that city was insane as per him. And he really gave me like 30 minutes. Everyone was trying to get a pic with him, but he gave me 30 minutes, discuss with me how we can grow India and do things globally. And so amazing, amazing experience. You see, at 35 years, 36 years back then, about 4 years back, um, for me to go to the US or to be invited to the US and take this and to receive this partner of the year in AI, and that was the year of GPT, Chat GPT. So
AI.
everyone was
Wow.
talking about it. AI was the hot cake, and we all the winners were taken in a bus to the Microsoft Seattle office
Wow.
for a meeting, and someone asked me, so what award have you won? I said, I'm the AI winner. And they're like, what? They couldn't believe, because there was a partner of the year for, let's say, for a country or for a region, for a particular thing. But for AI, everyone wanted that award. So that was a great, I mean, I would say very few moments I would say I felt proud of what we've done. This was one of those
Wow.
moments, right? I came
Yeah,
back.
yeah. I mean, it's a big, very proud moment, I would say. It's not easy.
It
I
was, it was,
mean,
it
to
was-
be there and
I
feeling
would
it
say
for
we were
real.
I would say we were lucky also, to be honest. We got a project that we delivered that got that consumption, got that use case. It was for one big, one big customer in Emirates for the education department, where we built this entire framework for education. Great use case, and then finally, what we built for then with Databricks, actually, we became their APJ partner of the year Japan, Australia, India, ASEAN, China,
Wow.
and Korea all combined, right? Um,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and there were like 200 plus partners in this space, and we won the partner of the year. It was big. So we got deeper with Databricks. We believe in the platform. Of course, Databricks was a native service, a first-party service on Microsoft. That really helped. We grew with them. I think we now have almost 15 of the top Fortune 100 customers in the US, in Europe combined. We're growing them as we speak. So, see, we have this mix there now. What we really need to do is,
Okay.
you know, of course, grow that more and more as an organization, and that's maybe go deeper with those customers. Um, a partnership with Databricks and with Microsoft has grown because of one thing. Our intent was very clear. We were focused on Microsoft, we were focused on Databricks, that's it. Of course, now we do AWS, and
Okay.
we're now a bigger partner with AWS than we are with Microsoft, or equivalent partner, I would say. Uh,
Oh,
and
wow.
uh,
Okay.
and yeah, some of our biggest customers are AWS because of Databricks, because it's kind of because of its
Yeah.
cloud agnostic nature. And from there, then I think something happened in 2022 when we actually partnered with Microsoft Research. They don't have
Mm-hmm.
partners, we have partners with them, and we built this economy of tools and products in energy sector, in oil and gas. We went really deep.
Okay.
So in oil and gas, there's exploration, and exploration you got exploration production. So in exploration you got lithology, there's well analytics, there is drilling. So we developed use cases for drilling, for an offshore well or an offshore asset, for let's say a big customer in Netherlands.
Mm.
Now that's big. That's
Huge.
not easy. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We
that's
could do
huge.
that
That's
today.
huge.
That's why Microsoft Research came into being, and then we again got deeper in a partnership with Databricks with respect to domains and so on. So we believe that domain and AI together will become more and more relevant. And our partnership with SAP grew because all these energy, manufacturing, retail CPG, which is a forte, are by default an SAP customer, mostly, right? So
Okay.
then marry the entire relationship, bring content to BTP and to Azure and to Databricks together. Now Databricks and SAP have come together for this new handsome
Mm.
product, kind of leveraging it, going to customers all across the globe. So it's a massive opportunity for us in the next 3 to 4 years when we plan to go for an IPO,
Okay.
right?
Oh, yeah, true, 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 true. In fact, it is, I would say that, the unleashing of the job of the people completely depends on how well they are learning AI or making use of the technology. Uh, because I am getting a lot of help with AI. I would say everything AI can do, it's just the way you use it and you use your brain power to train it or model it. So, true. I mean, I can agree to what you're saying. I would agree to because hear a lot about the threats that people are losing job, but I would say that people are becoming more productive because
If
of
you don't
AI.
use AI, if you don't use AI, you will lose a job. So learn to use
True,
AI.
true. Yeah, even people who are non-techie should learn to use AI. I would say. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I need to what's is there anything like concrete something which you're doing in Celebal like in the next 3 years or next few years it's gonna be like boom gonna come out.
I think AI, of course, is going to be at the epicenter of everything that we'll do, and focusing on certain industries, oil and gas. We're doing a lot of work,
Uh-huh.
building solutions
Uh-huh.
there. Then we're very focused on, security and AI together. That's another big area, and
Mm-hmm.
so domain-wise, domain intelligence is one, security another one, more horizontal though, and the last one would
Mm-hmm.
be people analytics. Very focused on people
Ah,
analytics,
okay.
health, people behavioral aspects, and so on and so forth. So putting these three things together, I think when we go to our customers with a new set of tools and products, I think I'm fairly confident then that we'll be able to give them the kind of CX they're looking at or they expect.
Okay. Okay. Got it. People analytics is something which is it's
Super
powerful.
important. Super important. Super important.
Super important, super powerful, I would say. If it's yeah. That's great. Okay, I guess that's all. But I would like to take a rapid fire. It is going to be a quick rapid fire, just one, two, three, few questions, Anirudh, which is there in my book.
I
And
hope you have a hamper for
sorry.
I'm saying, I hope you have a hamper for me that you'll send.
Yeah, without a doubt, I would like to take that address and I would like to send because it was such an amazing talk. But before, even before the rapid fire, Anirudh, or maybe after the rapid fire, this is, we can put it off the record also. Like, even though recording is there, I would really like to get your advice for how do you charge service for the services, like, like starting now, and I'm getting clients and all, then how do I charge for the services which
Don't charge for
I have never
services.
done it before, but I know.
Don't charge for services. Charge, I mean, show the value. They will be more than happy to pay. I
Value,
mean, if I
yeah.
want to,
But how do you know that what particular amount you have to charge for the value which you're providing? How do you figure out that?
takes time. I mean, that's more experience, to be honest. This is the value of this kind of an entity. This stuff. The value of anything is at the price someone is ready to buy, right? A Bitcoin is that highly priced because someone is ready to buy at that price, not what someone is ready to sell
Uh-huh.
at that, right? So you have to find out what is the value that you can showcase that someone is ready to pay the premium. So it's a very touchy topic, I would say. It's not an easy topic,
Yeah,
but
I
I'm very bad at it. I think we
oh shit.
not yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, I am at that point right now that, I am providing the value, everything is sorted. I don't know what to put the budget. I don't know.
It's not easy.
Anyway.
You learn it eventually. You learn eventually.
Okay.
And see, you are always creating a category. Not that there's a category that existed and you know what the pricing numbers are. So for you to then realize what's the value and what is the premium to that value, only experience will tell you. No other way.
I just the only thing I know, the value is going to be like completely 360-degree, it will transform. But putting that kind of price also, are you sure you're going to put it, Karishma? As in, is that something which has happened with you? Are you sure?
100, even today. Even
Okay.
today. So that
That's
won't go
great.
away.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Thank you. Okay. So the rapid fire. It's on Gita a little bit also. What is your dharma as an entrepreneur?
Uh, okay, I thought of it that way.
Never thought of it that way. As a
I think my
person.
dharma is to keep doing, keep doing, keep doing things. Innovation is, I would say, a dharma in entrepreneurship. It's a dharma.
Okay. Okay. The Gita verse which always plays in your mind.
I think I've said so many times, but the same one I
Yeah.
would say.
Again, I know. Keep doing.
It says, "Karmane vadhikareste ma phaleshu kadachan, ma karma phaletu guru mate ke sangosu karmani." Right. That's the entire words, and then there's
What is
much
the
bigger.
explanation of this verse?
It's a कर्मण्य वाधिकारस्ते माँ फलेषु कदाचन कर्म किए जा फल की चिंता मत कर क्योंकि फल तेरे हाथ में नहीं हाथ में तेरे कर्म है.
Oh wow. True,
Yes,
true,
yes.
true. And it is very simply said and it is very
Beautiful.
powerful also. But yeah. Who is your Krishna? Someone you turn to for clarity.
I don't think I've met that person yet. Krishna is a much bigger position than a mentor, also, right? Krishna
Yeah.
is again. I as I say, I'm still an atheist. I don't believe in. I believe in the power of the God for sure. I do not
Mm-hmm.
believe in a religion or religious aspect to God. God is just God. Why it's religious, right? So
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Krishna is
yeah.
the word that we use for God. Maybe someone else would use some other word. In fact, I'm a Jain, so for me it's Lord Mahavira, right? As from a
Oh, okay.
Jain. I like I like certain aspects of Krishna only because of the I would say the wittiness. that he brings to the table, right?
He brings contradictions also a lot,
Oh
like
yes,
the
why would
complexities.
you kind of read through it and figure out that's not right.
Were there.
I mean, killing Karn was right. The way he actually asked Arjun to kill Karn, I was like, no, that's not right. That guy is so righteous now, and you can't just killing. But it's difficult to digest that, but that's what it is.
Yeah. Founder you deeply respect. Is
I
there
think
any particular person you?
I think from Freshworks and Zoho, both the guys, very 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 very, it's amazing guys. Um, then it doesn't have to be founders of a startup itself. I think
Uh huh.
we
Yeah.
of course
Anyone. Visionary. Yeah.
huge respect for Narayana Murthy, right? I think people kind of take him in a very negative way for reasons not known to them actually. I believe he's someone who created this industry from an IT
Hmm.
perspective. Because he,
Yeah. Yeah.
even
Yeah.
Tata and all of them, they kind of followed what Mindforce did, right? And the entire global delivery model with Nanda Nilekani, and because I was there, I saw the entire legacy, and I realized how they built it, how they thought through it. The six guys who came together to build this company, outstanding, outstanding.
Yeah.
It's easy
Yeah.
to go and say,
Yeah.
"Oh, Google is the best one." Yes, they are great, Meta and all that, but they don't have such rich stories. They've got stories which are not that rich. They've got other negative things also. Whereas this is story built on skills, passion, love for the country, love for the work. So I think that's a combination, the right masala that I would want in any of my vendor, right? But yes, I think I would say
Yeah.
Freshworks has Shuni has been great in Freshworks and
In fact, I would love to take their podcast too.
yeah, you should.
Freshworks Zoho and Narayan Murthy. I have really good, I would say, regards and all for him because I have seen his interviews and his wife also talking about the way he operates. Oh my God, amazing. Okay, the last one, biggest myth about being a founder.
You make a lot of money. You don't.
Why?
I mean, might land up
No, no.
becoming. I mean,
Yeah,
you might be the
you
highest paid employee.
invest.
Sorry,
No, no, please, please, I want to hear
not
what you were
necessarily
saying.
you'll make money until unless you go for an IPO, you get secondary dilutions and so on and so forth. But then you never did it for money, right? You did it for the fun. Therefore, the
Yeah,
fun, not for.
the kick.
But then
You know.
you'll get money eventually. Of course, you'll make money. I'm just kidding. But the idea was don't do it for the money because you might not
But
land
I
up
would say the
becoming.
money comes.
The money will come to you for sure. It'll come to you.
Money
But
comes and then it flows also. The entire cycle is there, investment,
so yeah,
flowing,
yeah,
money flow.
you realize that why it came to you and why it'll go away from you also, right? Someday, but then, but that's okay. That's okay.
And then we also take like, salaries instead of, oh yes. Literally, I just feel like,
As an entrepreneur, you cannot do that. Mostly, unless you've become big and you've got loads of cash in the bank. The entrepreneur is the first one to cut the salary. I had a very low salary for 5 years, literally nothing.
no salary. Employees are getting salary and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, good for them.
Good for them. But it's really cool. And that's all I would say from my end on the podcast. Anything you would like to ask? And I'm so sorry for taking away a lot of your energy while talking.
That's okay. Um, I would just want to wish you all the best. I think just follow your passion. You'll be happy. I won't say success and all because I said that's a milestone. It's not the
Happiness. Yeah.
be happy.
It's the
And
soul satisfaction. I don't know.
I wish you all the happiness and peace because you'll be at peace. You'll be happy.